What's up everybody? Patrick from wpbuilderhelper, and in today's video we're going to build a store using Oxygen. So I've always kind of wanted to start an e-commerce store, and so I'm going to use this as a partial video, I believe, or something along those lines to get me started. I recently did an article on Oxygen where I was building an e-commerce and kind of walking you through the steps of what you have to do and what you have to know, because it's not so simple. It's not the way that you would think it is. It doesn't work the same way that it works in Elementor and Brizzy and all these other ones. Every e-commerce, the way they handle e-commerce is totally different. And Oxygen's totally different. And they've done plenty of great videos explaining how it works, but I wanted to dive a little bit deeper. So today I'm going to take and I'm going to build an e-commerce store using Oxygen. And we're going to go over some things you should watch out for, some things you shouldn't. You know, their videos are always very straightforward, and as you know, I like to kind of like analyze things and explain why things are the way they are. And so that's what we're going to do today. All right? So let's get started. Guys, so here we are in our store. This is going to be a short video. I'm going to try and break this up because I'm not sure if people really like the long series, but I wanted to kind of give you some ideas of what we're going to do. So in this store, I got the idea of basically starting kind of like a survival store. It's a type of store I've always wanted to take and kind of start. I'm into survival. I think it's really cool. I'm not an expert at it by any means, but I think that I could definitely do something with survival, and I think it would be really, really fun to kind of create it, regardless of whether it works out in the end or not. So as you can see, I have a default WordPress site. As a matter of fact, if we go to it right now, you'll notice that it's got the hello world. It's running the basic template that you could get today. I just switched to this brand new editor that you can kind of use for WordPress. It's called Largon. I'm going to end up doing a full video on this at some point. It's absolutely free, and you'll notice as we go through this, it's much faster than you would have assumed. So let's just load up the plugins that we need. I've already downloaded many of my plugins, so I won't have to go back and do anything crazy. I'm going to install, let me start by installing Oxygen because it works better if you install Oxygen first. So I'm going to install that. And you're going to notice right away, if you're not used to something like Local by Flywheel, you're not going to notice very much of a difference here, but I'm telling you right now, this is much quicker than Local by Flywheel. This was on the Oxygen forums. Someone was using it and testing it, and a lot of people have come out and really said that they love this WordPress setup. It works very similar to a regular website where you're unpack and install, maybe a little bit slower, because it's definitely not this slow on a regular website. It's usually much faster, but in this case it doesn't hurt to take and do this. This isn't going to hurt anything. I could have just started a blank website on my own web server and went from there, but I wanted to kind of test this as I go. So you can see that definitely this is not the fastest thing when it comes to everything, but it's still not as slow as Local by Flywheel. I know that there were plenty of times in there where we did Local by Flywheel and it took some time. So in this, I am going to go for right now, I'm going to go for a blank install. I think. Let me browse the library. I don't think anything's close to our survival website, so I really don't want to take and pick something, but it might help me out in the end to do something like maybe winery. I don't think any of these work. I really don't think any of these work. Let me view the demo for winery. Winery's not bad. Yeah, winery doesn't have a bad setup. I'm not sure if it's my favorite though. It's definitely not bad. I could probably convert this some way, shape, or form. Let me see what the blog looks like. The blog actually looks pretty good. The blog's probably the best part of this, is the fact that you have these blog posts and these recent blog posts, and they've got stars next to them. That's really good. I don't think that that matches what we're going for. Is there anything else that I want to see? Hyperion, Dentist. Here's a one page. We don't want a one page. Financial, Flight School. Let's look at Flight School. Flight School is kind of a new one that they've added. Let's look at this. It's a really pretty layout. They did a really good job. I wish that Oxygen had some more of these because I really love these. They do a good job just separating things and having these little things that are in here that are all part of Oxygen, but they've just converted them and just made them look really, really good. Like, I really like the way this looks. I think that they did a fantastic job with it. Yeah, I mean, this has got some things. This, once again, could be converted over. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but it's certainly not the worst. We wouldn't use reviews. There's no reason to use reviews. This blog section's pretty cool, although to me it's a little bit, yeah, that's not going to work. That's definitely not going to work. So let's keep looking. Is there one more? I could try hosting. I don't think hosting's going to work either. I need something. See, the problem is none of these have any kind of WooCommerce built into them. And so I'm building something with the thought that it's going to have WooCommerce and a blog, and they kind of just don't have that right now. So let's see what this has got. Yeah, see, this is more of a regular page. So guess what? You know what? We're not going to do it. It looks like, although I do like this blog, I think this blog is a pretty cool looking blog. Looks neat the way that they have this. Good use of images. Their use of images on the Oxygen default sites are actually fantastic. I like them. But I'm just going to build it from scratch. I've decided to just build it from scratch, and I'm going to build it from scratch. I like that little logo animation there. That's pretty cool. They have it kind of like, it's neat. It like fades in and fades out. That's pretty cool little animation that they have there. Just something to bring a little bit more little bit more to the logo, make it stand out a little bit more. So okay, so in this case, we're going to take and we're going to go back to our original website, and let's see, let's choose go back, and install websites, and it should bring me back to the builder. Nope. Oh, I guess once you choose, stupid me, once you choose that you're a pro, so you'd have to build everything from scratch. So if we go in here, you'll see that there are no templates whatsoever. If you go in the pages, you'll see that there are no pages whatsoever except the privacy policy and sample page, and we have no posts whatsoever. So for right now, let's go back and keep installing our plugins. So I'm a big fan of WordFence. I'm going to install it. I know some people don't like it. I've never used a lot of the other security plugins, but I like WordFence. I've had pretty good success with them. I think that they're a pretty good security plugin. I'm sure that there's other security plugins there are, you know, much better, but I don't mind this one. This is one of my all-time favorite plugins when it comes to that. By the way, right now there's AppSumo has a current thing going on with this WP Mail login for MailPoet. So if you're not familiar with MailPoet, you want to go check that out. I don't know how many people use that, but I know that I was looking into it. It seems very, very interesting. They had a couple things that were concerning to me, and you know, someone abusing it if you did it for clients. If you're using it for yourself, you're probably okay, but if you were using it for clients, I was worried that there could be some bad things happen. Okay, so we can see that this is installed, and like I said, this is moving pretty fast. I'm surprised how fast this moves. So I'm going to end up doing a video on this explaining how this works. But we're going to take and we're going to install all of these, get all of the popular plugins. They work much faster on a host. On a host, you'll always find that you're much faster. But for right now, it's all right. It's not the end of the world. We're gonna agree to the terms. Would you also like to join? No. Do you have to put in? Yeah. All right. We'll do Patrick at wpbuilderhelper.com. All right. Continue. Cool. We don't want a premium key. That's okay. Let's see. Let's go back. Let's add in another plugin. We're going to add in Woocommerce. No thanks. Don't want to stay up to date automatically. I'll do that myself. Some people really like that. I'm not a big fan of the fact, let's do this in another tab because I can do both things at the same time. I'm not a big fan of the fact that we're going to be on Lightspeed for this, so we're going to select Lightspeed. If I'm going to do this, my server uses Lightspeed, so I just happen to know that that's what it uses. You can download the HTTP access. I'm not going to download it because there's no point. It's a brand new website, and I'm not worried about it breaking because I know what my server's got. So it's currently in learning mode, and then we'll go there and I go in and I customize this with some certain firewall and brute force protection, which I'll show later on as I go through so that you can kind of play with it. But for right now, this is installing WooCommerce. I guess I could do that right now. So one of the things I like to do in here is I immediately block access. No, where is it? Let's go to brute force protection. So certain things, they give you way too many login attempts with this. I like setting it for 5. I think for 5, if you don't know the password, and 5 logout attempts, and I count the period over a 1-day period, and the amount of time that a user is logged out is 1 day. Now you might say, well, wait a second, that's really, what happens if you block yourself? Well, hopefully I've got 5 attempts, so if I were to forget the password or something, then I would know that I'd need to change it before the 5th attempt, otherwise I'm going to get locked out. I'm also going to take and block anybody who uses any kind of passwords, like if they're using my name. So for instance, if my name is involved in there, usually I'll do administrator because that's one that everyone tries to use. I'll do admin, but right now we're set on admin, so we're going to actually go back and change that in the past. If you don't know, you should probably never use administrator as your password, but I like to set just that to immediately lock out and change that brute force protection. That just makes you a little bit more secure. It's not going to do a whole bunch, but it's something that I just really like to do. And go in here. Download user INI. We'll just click no. We don't want to do that. I'm not normally you would do this, but because I'm not worried about it right now, I'll go in and do it once it's moved over to the actual host. So that'll take and that'll optimize that too. So let's go back. Let's see if this is, yes, WooCommerce is activated. So we're going to activate WooCommerce. We're going to dismiss this for right now. And this video is already going a little bit longer than I wanted to, but I still wanted to take you through it. So for those people who are kind of bored by this, feel free to kind of skip to maybe one of the next videos. We're gonna go through this. I'm gonna load up all these plugins and take you through one by one building a store. So I am in the United States. I am not going to use an address. I'll go in and fill this later because I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to use a PO or something else. You can go in and switch this. I'll choose my state. I don't mind telling people what state I'm from and what zip code I'm from. That's fine. US dollars, I plan to sell both physical and digital products. I plan to only sell digital products. I'm not going to have any physical products. I will be also selling products and service. I'm not selling products and service. So then let's go. Oh, it forces you. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4 street. Let's see if it'll let me, or it still forces you. All right, I can put in my city. That's not going to hurt anything. No, we're not going to enable tracking. I just don't want to do that. We're not going to enable Stripe. Eventually we're going to do PayPal, but for right now we're just going to do offline payments. I'm not worried about that. I'll eventually set up PayPal. Don't want automated taxes because I'm not going to do anything with taxes, I don't believe. It's all digital products, so I don't think there are any taxes that need to be collected. Eventually I will probably do something with MailChimp, but for right now I'm not, and I'm also not doing anything with Facebook. So I'm not going to set that up. I'm not connecting Jetpack because I think it is a dumpster fire, and I refuse to connect that with any of my sites. Sorry, WordPress, I hate it. So it's got ready to start selling, get straight inspiration to your mailbox. No. I do want to import products just so I can have some products. I like the idea of that. Crap. I don't think this is going to let me. I'm going to have to find some products to import. So I'll probably have to come back to this. But let's see, did it create my pages for me already? Yes, it did. Okay. So you can see I have a cart page here, and if I go to view, you'll see it probably looks like, let's get rid of some of these. It probably looks pretty bad. Yeah, I mean, obviously you can see this looks terrible. This is really, really bad looking. But it is what it is. Part of the reason why this looks the way it is because now that the website is the way it is, Oxygen has turned off the website. So all you're going to see are these things that are right here. That's all the default stuff that Oxygen is loading from the default page, which is the Hello World page. So in order to do this, we're going to have to customize this from scratch, which means everything. And that's what we're going to be doing in this whole entire thing. We're going to be going through and we're going to be building this website from scratch. So I want to take and I want to go in and get 2 more plugins. And if, like I said, if you're not interested in this or this isn't your favorite cup of tea, then I get it. Feel free to skip to maybe one of the next segments. Hopefully I'll have them up pretty quickly. I plan to do this back to back to back so that every day there should be, or every 2 or 3 days, there should be another one coming out so that we can go over it. Because I'm going to do everything. I'm going to try and build the logo, something basic. I'm going to go and build a color scheme. I'm going to show you how I do that. I'm going to show you how I wireframe with Oxygen, just so you can get an idea of what the pages are going to look like. I'm going to build the Woocommerce page into it so that we can have Woocommerce built in. And I'm going to build a store and show you how that I'm actively doing that. And then we're going to take and we're going to start building some traffic to it by doing pages, doing blog posts and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm going to go into that portion of it just because that's long and boring and I don't think that I should do that. But for right now, I mean, it's something. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm trying, and part of the reason I'm trying Rank Math, I like SEO Press also, but I wanted to try Rank Math. A lot of people have said some great things about it, and I have Rank Math on one of my other websites, and I think it's really cool. So I wanted to take and just have Rank Math, and I'll go in and I'll do this. I think I've already got an account. Can't remember, but that's all right. I'll go back and I'll register this and add it on. So we're going to go back to the website for right now. Let's go back because I still want to add the WooCommerce settings, and then from here I think we're going to stop for the day. And like I said, I'm going to be back. I'm going to be adding more stuff to it. We're going to go through and I'm going to show you how I'm going to get everything. I'm going to explain it all because I learned a lot when I built my own store. I built it following the tutorials that Oxygen has, and I think that those tutorials are excellent. But I wanted to take and I wanted to go through and show somebody how to build a store because I don't think that I really did show somebody how to do that. And I think that Oxygen does an excellent job. So this is what we're going with. I mean, we got Rank Math, we've got really simple SSL because we're going to end up using that. We've got WooCommerce. We've got the limited selection of things on here. And right now, like I said, this is what our website looks like. It probably looks like a dumpster fire, so don't be surprised. Yes, it looks freaking terrible. We're going to change it. This is what it looked like before, but we're going to change it. With Oxygen, like I said, it disables the website, the actual theme, so your theme looks like this. You're going to have to create that from scratch unless you're using one of their homemade settings. So hopefully you like this. If you're enjoying this content and you want to see more of it, please click like down below. It helps me know that you guys like the content. And if not, I'm going to try and make this a shorter series. I hope to do everything within the next maybe 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 videos, but I'm going to get through all of this. So hopefully you guys like this and enjoy. All right, and I will see you guys next time.